Welcome back to the 12 Days of Christmas, where we're talking about a taboo topic of the fact that this holiday season is not necessarily the most wonderful time of the year for everyone. So on day one, we talked about the importance of recognition. Day two, we talked about identification. If what I'm saying makes absolutely no sense to you, that means you did not watch day 1 and 2. Before we can get into day 3, I really need you to go back and watch day 1 and 2, because these are some really practical steps that you can take, but you can't just start like in the middle of it. Like you wouldn't start baking a cake by putting the pan in the oven first without taking the first couple steps. So if you haven't done so, please make sure that you watch day 1 and day 2. If you've watched day 1 and 2, please make yourself at home. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. If at any time I'm saying anything that you like or you resonate with, feel free to like and comment. If you're already at home, you've already subscribed, thank you for sticking with me through the ick. This may not necessarily feel the best, but before we get better, we will inevitably feel worse, and that's okay. It's all part of the growing pains of life. So now that I got that nice little commercial out of the way, let's jump into it.
Put our flight attendants, prepare for arrival.
So we've recognized some of the stressors that make this time of the year not so wonderful. We've then identified what are some of those things that makes this time of the year harder for you. And step 3, what we're going to talk about today, this is 3 in sign language, so I'm going to do this. Step 3, what we're going to talk about today is we're going to personify those things. So now that we've recognized and identified, we really need to personify why those narratives affect us the way that they do. So what we're doing is we're literally going from something super broad, right, from recognizing it just in general to then identifying a little bit more specifically, and then now we're personifying it. So we're really like narrowing down to focusing on you and yourself personally. So again, it might feel really icky to really like sit and ponder with what's going on like internally. And again, that's okay. Things get worse before they get better. So the reason why we want to start to personify is not only are we all different people who have had different experiences to make us who we are today, we all have our own needs that we need to have met, and whatever your needs are might be different from my needs. So we need to really identify what it is about those narratives that make it so not just hard in general, but really hard for us. And I really want you to sit with that. And again, like you did in day 2, really, if you need to write it out or talk it out, whatever your way of processing is, I really need you to do those things. And I'm about to give you an example, but just because I give you an example, I don't want you to just take that and run with it and say, oh yeah, that's me too. Because if you're really trying to grow just in general, period, then that's really not gonna cut it. And if that's okay with you, if you just kind of wanna coast, then do you. So yeah, you have certain needs that are not being met, so you need to really identify what it is about those narratives that make it difficult for you personally. So an example can be that I need to feel heard, or I need to feel loved, or I like to create memorable moments, or whatever it is that it is for you. Like, how is it that I'm not getting those things? Just like really identify your needs and compare them to the things that you've identified to making this time of the year hard. And now that you've identified those things, really personify them. What about those things make it hard for me? What is it that I'm not getting? What is it that is displayed or exemplified or sold in this narrative, whether it be watching people, whether it be watching a movie? What is it about this thing? What is it about this person that makes this time of the year hard for me? What is it that I am not getting? Am I not feeling heard? Am I not feeling loved? Again, those are just the 2 examples, and I'm just going to keep writing on because I know my personal needs, and I've been able to personify that those are the needs that I have that could potentially not be being met. So please do that. And I promise, this is the last icky step before we get to like the good fun stuff to kind of turn that frown upside down. Thanks for watching. Make sure you come back for day 4.